YouTube. So momentous occasion. I'm really pretty annoyed that I can't. I said I wouldn't use telecast. I'm pure dying to my tellies. There's like 3 tellies sitting against the, just sitting on my dirty socks. There's like 3 Japanese tellies. I'm said I wouldn't play them. So momentous occasion. A real PRS. I'm going to play a real PRS today, not one of your SE things. So PRS is one of those companies that I do actually quite like. Paul Reed Smith, the guy who runs it, he is quite funny. He's a bit weird. I think a lot of people maybe don't like him, but I do quite like the guy. But I mean, it's just at the price level you're looking at. There is obviously a hell of a lot of snobbery coming in there. And to be honest, I don't really like the look of the guitars. I don't know what it is about them. I guess, I mean, some of it, obviously you see them and it's just like some of the pieces of wood, you know, and the top of the range ones are just fantastic, you know. I mean, it's like, it's the most expensive looking wood you can possibly imagine. And like I said, actually the only chance I ever had to play one was when I bought my Schecter telly. The guys at Pure, oh yeah, I'm selling the telly to, because I bought a PRS and it's like for my playing style. Right, do you want a shot of it? And basically I was sitting there and it was like playing the telly going, well, to be honest, this is the best guitar I've ever played. I don't want to play a PRS because it might be better. This is years ago, before I really knew what I was doing. Yeah, so I don't actually have a guitar with an altered bridge on it, but it's actually this. I've been fooling you up to now because I am actually playing a PRS right now. See that? See if I go to this video capture device too and click it on. There we go. See, so we've got an altered bridge guy, Paul Reed Smith MT15 valve amp. I think it. Oh, how did Ian told me it was it 23 watts or something like that. I've got it running. There's a switch on the back that turns it to half power. I turned it to half power. Didn't really make that much difference. Maybe just because I don't have it up loud enough. But I was like, you know, playing the clean channel, it was fine. I hit the thing, made a shat it because it was just so flipping loud on the gain channel. But it does have, like, see how you can actually, it's quite good. You can see the valves inside lighting up, and there's blue LEDs in below the valves at the front. But you can see the power amp valves at the front. I've got at the back. I've got the wee, you know, a light. But if you go into the lead channel, there's a wee bit of noise, but also you can see that it lights up red. I've kind of got the volume at the sort of level where it's not really, it's just on, but that's the same as the orange amp, and it's what, 30 watts split down to 15 split down to 7, so you know, it's like, aye. Tip for when you're adjusting an amp volume, go to the amp you're actually plugged into. I do have a reverb pedal on there. I'll turn it off. I have to say that I'm using my usual Trace Elliott 3x12 cabinet. God, I can't remember. They're expensive speakers on it. Is it Celestion G12s? Something like that. Can't remember. Ones with the cork front, some greenback ones. So a good cabinet. It sounds very similar to the orange, with really, as far as I can tell just now. I'm using my Roadster RG140 obviously because I really like the sound of this, and it's got a Super 70 in the bridge, which are really one of my favourite pickups, and then it's got Super 5s, which are really low output single coil, so you can get, they're really good for the clean, so it kind of does really amazing strat sounds in the, you know, positions 3, 4 and 5, and then it's got a really good humbucker in the bridge, so. It's a wee bit more modern sounding, I think. Mind you, in saying that, I'm using the Dirty channel, where it's not called Dirty, it's just called Lead on this one. Whereas on the orange, I just use the clean channel and use pedals because I like using my loop pedal. And I've explained this before, but if you're using a loop pedal and you use the clean channel, it means that you can put in a rhythm track or some other stuff on clean, and then when you overdub with a solo, you can put a distortion pedal on and you get leads. Whereas if you're just using the gain channel, and then it's obviously it's whatever the amp's set to, so you're basically recording into the loop pedal clean, and then the amp's putting out, so you just end up with the same sound on both the rhythm track and the lead. And I'm afraid it does come down to, I mean, I don't think it is just valve snobbery, but I mean, I think you could have blindfolded me and I told you that was a valve amp. And it's like, maybe more so when it's running a bit more at gig levels, maybe there's a bit more difference, but being what did I say, it was 23 watts, you know, the orange is sort of 30, my wee Laney's 15, they're all kind of similar, sort of at this volume, but I mean, again, running these things at the volume, where you've got the volume level at off, just on, there we go, you know, less than 1, you're not, I don't think you're really, I'm really using these amps to their full potential. But, I mean, I could have told you that was a valve amp, I think, as soon as they just sound different. I do quite miss the reverb though, put the reverb back on again. Quite a good riff. I don't know. I don't recognise it. Maybe if I was still in Cranking House, I'd probably have hit them with that, and they would have gone. Yeah. There's a funny timing thing going on there, so they wouldn't have liked it. It was like, oh, how do we strum chords to that? Can't. Yeah, so it's quite noisy, but that's because it's a high gain amp. I mean, there's no point in me even turning it up to let you hear it sound it. I wonder, is my mic up loud enough? I'm just going to do a wee check here, 2 seconds. My mic seems to reset all the time. It's really flipping annoying. Nope, that's not the right one. Why 67? So did I just leave it just now? Well, it's kind of peaking. Okay, I'll leave it. Right, but it should be louder than I don't know. There must be some shortcut thing somewhere that I keep hitting, which adjusts the volume of the mic, you know, without actually having to go in and adjust it. But I mean, I can see there I've actually got a VU meter in this, and it's like there's a wee green thing that goes up to -20, and if I go it does maximise. So right, so I'm going to go off the gain channel and go to the clean channel. Silence. well, I can hear the fans in the computer going and stuff like that, but it doesn't have that. I mean, I don't know. We were playing that gig on Saturday night there, and the guitarist in the other bands, his amp was so noisy, and so's Craig. It's just like, you know, it's a wee bit tough sometimes. I think it's just a volume thing when you've got like a valve amp up full bung. It does just go. It's quite difficult. See when we're playing War Pigs, it's like dead. So it's like, I do remember when I saw Sabbath. Obviously, I remember seeing Sabbath on their second last ever gig at the Hydro. I was right in front of Tony Iommi because I had to buy the most expensive tickets because it was the only chance I had. It was my birthday though. And it was right in front of him. His ability to go and turn the volume down, back up again, volume completely off. So he was riding that volume control like a demon. He was obviously doing it left-handed, and he also only ever used the bridge pickup. He never used the neck pickup at all, because after about 3 songs of me watching him going, been using the bridge pickup the whole time. He never used the neck pickup for the whole gig, because after that point I started noticing it. After I was really impressed with his ability to turn the volume down whenever there was a quiet bit, because his amp was obviously just the whole time. So for cleans, there's your J position 2. We do have so on this, you can actually see it there we go. So we've got power on standby, that's fine. That's really the opposite of what this amp is. I wonder if does it always work that way? I'm sitting here looking at 3 valve amps, which are, I would say, similar, sort of. Softtech, PRS, and Orange. The Orange has the standby and the thing on the right hand side. The standby and the power on the right hand side when you go in on the left. Whereas these two go the other way, so you get the power and standby on the left, and then the guitar goes in on the right. But if you buy the head version of this amp, which I was talking about the other night, it's basically, see how obviously you've got the control panel and then all the valves are on top of it on this one, because you can actually see the valves. It's the same on this one, you know, the valves all stick up. Whereas on the combo version, on the head version of the Orange, it's the same, but on the combo version, the valves all stick down. That's why it doesn't, you know, sit up to this height. So that amp is basically, if you take that and just flipped it upside down and then reprinted the knobs to go the other way. So I think that might just be a thing that always happens. Not really sure. I know that in a lot of combos in the old days, it was like the controls were on the top, so the amp head was basically, if you took the amp head and kind of did the same thing, you kind of flipped it upside down, so the valves are, instead of sticking up the way and then therefore increasing the size of the cabinet, they're inside, down behind the speaker somewhere. Different ways of doing it. I much prefer amps with the knobs on the front rather than being on the top. That's kind of why I've gone off my wee laney and I've not been using it, because it's just the way I've got it set up. You know, it's sitting there, and it's like, to get to the knobs, you're kind of leaning over the top to get to the knobs, whereas when the knobs are on the front, you can see them. Seems silly, but that does make a difference. It probably, well, it's probably one of the reasons why the laney is quite small, because obviously as soon as you put, you're set with how big the speaker grill has to be to go on top, and then if you put the control panel above that, it makes it bigger. So if you put it on the back, you can kind of keep it just the minimum size of whatever size of speaker grill you need. Yeah. So we've got Presence, Master for the lead channel, which I found a little bit difficult. That was why it was so loud when I turned it on. So there's the Master for the lead channel, right? And then here's the lead channel over here with your bass, middle, treble, and gain. So your Master's there, and then so you get the Master for the lead channel, and then the lead channel controls over here, but in the middle you've got bass, middle, treble, and volume for the clean channel. I would rather have the Master volume here, and then these 4 shunted along. But I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know Alter Bridge. I think I've seen them at download. I recognised the band logo and the name. And like I said, my wee joke was I was looking to see if I had any guitars hanging up just now that had an altered bridge, but they've all just got their stock bridge, which is quite odd for me because I've got a lot of guitars that have altered the bridge on them, but I've never really altered the bridge on any of these. I suppose this one's got a black tremolo arm, which obviously isn't original, therefore altered. But I don't remember altered bridge, and I have heard them, but I don't remember them. So I'm sorry, but they must be shit. Or they must not appeal to me. Somewhere in there. I know that probably folk go, Altered Bridge are the best, they've had all these hits and stuff. Yeah, but I don't, it's a taste thing. And I don't have any. And I've not heard anything by them. It's like, I mean, I do give new bands a shot. I will listen to, you know, a song or two. And especially if I see them at downloads. If they're really crap, I tend to remember them. If they're really good, I will remember them. If they're in the middle somewhere, in the sort of bland for me category. I'm sorry, I know that there's probably quite a lot of people watching this who are, oh, look, he's got a PRS. Is it Mark Tremonti? Someone Tremonti, I think his name is. I don't know what they sound like, so I can't play any Altered Bridge because I don't remember any of it. I'm a Sabbath fan, and I'm sorry they're not as good as Sabbath. Because if I would have heard them and gone, oh my god, they're as good as Sabbath, and I would listen to them more. I didn't. So there's a treble pull boost. I don't know if that's a treble boost or just a boost, but it's under the treble knob. It's probably a treble boost now. I don't think that's just boosting the treble. I think it is just a boost. I don't know why it's under the treble. Mind you, the old, like the Vox, was it Rory Gallagher and Brian May and stuff, and I think Tony Iommi use a treble boost pedal, which, although it's called a treble boost, it's not really just like you think, oh, that's just like turning the treble up to full. No, it's not really that. It's more of a... It's more than that, you know. Yeah, no, I mean, that's fucking great. I didn't ask how much it was. It's a PRS. I don't even know if it's made in America. I don't want to move it now that it's on. It's got a lot of valves in it. More than normal. Whatever normal is. I mean, me being super technical, don't really know these things, mind you. I was going to say it's got more than like the Softtech does, but the Softtech's only one channel. So some of the valves are probably for the gain channel. So we've got the two big power valves at the back. The power amp valves, yeah, I know that. And then another big one at the front, although it looks like... Oh, no, that's not a valve at all. That's just the way there's a blue light lighting up the side of the transformer. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 small valves. There's also 2 transformers in it. Interesting. I do quite like the blue LED thing in behind the valves to make them light up a bit more. Sort of. In some ways it seems awfully cheap though, eh? Like kind of pure, oh, we'll make it look like your valves are hot by putting red light bulbs in them. But yeah, I do quite like the way it's like, it's pretty cool the way it's like red for the gain channel, like hell, and then blue for when you're cool like me. Yeah. Not super featureful, but a really sensible size of amp, I think. You know, that through that wee cabinet's just absolutely ideal for playing in a rehearsal room or something like that. You know, it's got 25 watts and it's got speaker outputs for like, you can run two two 16-ohm cabs off it, so you can run a full Marshall stack, two 4x12s. You're never going to need more volume than that. Not these days. You know, gone are the days when you see like Richie Blackmore playing, you know, like the California Jam without really having a PA. It's like, right, you're playing a football stadium and you're not going through the desk. Yeah, you want a wall of Marshalls, you know, Deep Purple, and just that sort of year. I don't really know when things started becoming a bit more. I mean, even I remember kind of going. I think it's only really relatively recently that everywhere has massive PAs, and you know you can basically gig anywhere you want with a wee combo. You know, it can be done. You know, but there was a time when, you know, like a big wall of Marshalls was necessary to be loud, and it was actually part of the sound. I mean, I was playing a gig there at the weekend, and I was running a 200 watt crate bass amp that we found in the back because the bass player wouldn't let me use his amp. And I had to put full bung, and I still had to have something come through the monitors. We were flipping loud. I did kind of feel sorry for the band following us because they were playing at normal levels where we're just dicks. And Craig, the guitarist, is like, up here's the first gig he's ever played where the sound guy hasn't told him to turn his amp down, because he's got like it was actually built by the guitarist from the other band, a Flynn amps, you know, 50 watt Marshall-y, very much similar to that sort of thing, but built in Glasgow. And to get that real sound, to get that, it's got to be running at a proper volume. What do you mean? Yeah, totally. Bass, less so. Bass, I'm quite happy with solid state for bass, and I mean, I'm using a £20 Zoom pedal for fuzz. We're trying to put something in as a wee backing track. I've not thought. What was that? Oh, I forgot already. We go for G. Something like that. Delamo fuzz for cheap, is it? Try and put the gain up, see what it goes to for gain wise. Just I'll be very careful with that master volume. Not a master of the tremolo. Like and subscribe and all that, and yeah, so I do occasionally have really expensive stuff in. I mean, I don't even, I'll look it up after. I mean, I'm going for, it's going to be thousands, isn't it? Actually, if I turn it off, I'll tell you what it's worth. I'm still not sure about the turn off, Craig, and South Pans, but you don't really want, it's actually bad for your amp using the standby switch. Something to do with surges and power and stuff like that. So basically what I've been doing basically with the Orange is just turning it off, turning them both on at the same time and turning them both off at the same time. I think it basically, what it does do is it stops the speaker going bang, but it doesn't damage the speaker. But maybe it does if you're up at full bang or something like that. But not particularly. I wonder what it says on the back, where it's made. And then I shall... Oh, it's got quite a lot of things on the back. In fact, I can probably actually... I don't know how many things I've plugged into it. If I unplug... Right, if I unplug it... Right, I unplug that. Right, I need to remember to put them back into the Orange, otherwise it'll blow up. Well, it won't if I don't put the power lead in, but it might be a thingy. So, on the back... Oh, it's actually quite hot. Look at these cool red bits on the sides. So, interesting stuff. What do we have? You can only use a PRS FS1M foot switch in here, which I'd imagine will change between the channels. I wonder why it's only use. You can have one 16 ohm cabinet or one 8 ohm cabinet or two 8 ohm cabinets. That's pretty cool. Bias jacks. Bias adjust. We don't know. We don't know. What biasing, something to do with valve amps that I don't understand. Designed in Stevensville, made in China, so it's not an American amp. Full power, half power, Paul Reed Smith, an effects loop, and this thing which I like a lot as well. I've seen this on, well, to be honest, I've seen it on cheap amps as well. But see how the power jack actually has the main fuse is actually in there also. I don't know whether that one will be the same, but see when you take the wee fuse box out, now normally it's its own wee thing, when you take that out, there's enough room for 2 fuses. So basically you take it out because you've blown a fuse, and inside there there's another, there's like a wee segment next to it that's not connected to anything that holds another fuse. That's a fantastic idea. I don't know which amp, I can't remember which amp it was I saw that on, but it was like pure, huh. So basically you blow a fuse at a gig, oh god, what am I going to do? Have you got another fuse? No, but actually if you pull out the wee fuse holder thing, there's like a wee drawer in the same wee connector. One of them's got the fuse that's connected, and one of them's got room for a spare fuse. Great stuff, great stuff. So my first PRS, and not doing well focusing today for some reason. Rock on, and catch you later. Oh, and that red guitar, the red start is awesome. I was going to stop playing at one point, just like every time I play that thing, even though the strings on it are pretty old, it's just, if you ever get a chance to, if you ever see one, I've been looking them up on, there's a few on eBay just now, but they're like 500 quid. To be honest, even at that, they're fantastic guitars. Specifically this one, it's just, I can't really fault it. I'm not super keen on the red, but I mean, you know, apart from the colour, which I'd maybe rather have a white one. Someone put on one of the Ibanez pages. It was actually a very similar model to this, the one with 3 single coils. I'd rather the humbucker. It was like the sort of polar off-white, kind of almost like the Paul Gilbert one you can just see. And he was like, yeah, go on, fuck it. He was like, this is the best colour that you can ever get a Roadstar in. Go on, fight. So I obviously had to put a picture up of my RG530, the one with the black pearl, which is white around the outside, and then it's got the... No, I was like, I'm sorry, man. But you said you wanted to fight. White's the second best colour, because you've got black pearl instead. The only thing wrong with this guitar is it's got a chunky to it on the neck. It was there when I got it, right there. Which is not really that annoying. I just wish there was some way of it. I have tried putting water in it and tried to pop it out with a soldering iron and stuff like that, but it's just, it's right at that bit there. See if it was in the bottom and you couldn't see it. It's like the one bit of the guitar you see. But that's not really a complaint about this guitar for what I paid for it. You know what I mean? Most, everyone who's got a Squire probably paid more than I paid for this. And this is like, it's the best Strat I've ever played. Okay, arguably it's not really quite a Strat, but even like, you know, as I was doing fluttering with the and using it without fear. Because the actual trem, it's not a locking trem, it's just a mad Ibanez own design thing. It's a hard rocker, it's called. The best trem I've ever used. Because you don't need to fidget with fine tuners and clamping it down, and it's not that difficult to set. It's a very, very simple thing. It's not the best way of putting strings in, but once you've put strings in it once, the second time, it's no problem. It takes you about a minute to put the first string in like that. You kind of poke it in a hole, try to hook it around a thing. But once you've got the first one, which takes a minute, the other ones only take a couple of seconds each because you've just done it with the first one. So I mean, again, I can't fault the. This is a cheap one. What is that? An RG140. Absolutely amazing guitars. And I've lost the. So cheers for that, and that was a wee bit extra, but rock on, and I'll try and keep my not playing Telecasters this week, since I played a Telecaster every day last week, bar one day when I played a BC Rich. It's really tough though. I'm really enjoying that. To be honest, the new CSL telly kind of feels like this a bit. It's made in the same factory. It's okay. It's 74. That's 86. So it's 12 years. That's 12 years newer, but it's still got that thing. Rock on. Love you all.